And it's very hard when someone is trying to take all the blame and the other person's just letting them.
Yeah, he didn't have any culpability out of his mouth at all for what was happening or what was going on. He was saying her anxiety, her unfitness, and there was nothing there where he said, part of what she said was he locked her out of the van.
Yes, she said he lost, and I've had that happen to me. So that feels like he threw her out and she started panicking. And then she said, well, he locked me out of the van and all this stuff. But again, that to me should have been a really big red flag to the police officers, especially with the handprint on her face. And Mia, you did mention something that the police officer said that I thought was pretty, interesting.
It's horrible because he like called it. He said there's a chance that we let them go and then she ends up dead. And she did. It wasn't immediately. It wasn't 24 hours later, but she did. Like, it's like, and I feel, part of me feels bad because I know that now that police officer, all of them are probably regretting it because they saw this, like, they definitely did see the signs, but they didn't have enough, I guess in their minds, they didn't have enough to actually act on it. And that's just, like, they tried, but it just wasn't enough. But it just shows that how abusers are so good at manipulating every little thing, but these are things that are manipulated and they cost lives. We're never going to get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they acknowledged that she had bruises on her arm and that her face was, but
yeah, that's one of the things they could have questioned that in more depth, and she didn't give a good answer.
No,
They should, lovingly pressured her for the answer, and they didn't. Absolutely, they did not press for that answer. And I think when the woman cop came on the scene, that really should have changed the dynamic. But
yes, I agree.
My dad abused my mom and broke her ribs, and my mom hadn't said anything. Even when she was in the hospital, she didn't say anything until the nurse took a really good look at her and saw bruises all over my mom's body. And my dad probably convinced the police officers that, it was just this one thing. But my mom was covered in bruises because that wasn't the first thing. He had thrown a chair at her a few days before that. I think they could have examined her further, and there probably would have been other bruises.
I agree, Mia. It happened to me. My ex busted my face open by slapping my face too hard, and it caused a hole in between my lip and my cheek. And I was still in defensive mode. He did not let me walk into the ER by myself, so I couldn't even check in by myself. When we got back to the room, I knew they had suspicion that I wasn't telling the truth because I told him I fell down the steps holding a laundry basket, and I fell into the laundry basket and it ripped my face because it hit. They never made him leave the room, which they didn't. They just questioned me, right? And they didn't make him leave. They didn't get security. So 100%, there are signs there. And if, doctors, police officers, first responders of anything are not taking the proper, you are taking a risk with people's lives.